Okay, this is absurd. Not absurd, but is this like a memory that a lot of children have had? Okay, I'm gonna talk about it. So, I'm just gonna talk about this shit because this is what's in my brain and what the fuck. This is the shit I think about and it's weird. So, when I was little, probably like maybe 3 or 4, probably one of those. I I remember before I was born, and I remember my whole life, okay? I remember the houses I lived in, everything. It's insane, okay? Um, but I'm gonna go with this one story here. I was like 3 years old, and I was at my grandmother's house, and she lived on this place called Poppleton Lane. And I was in her kitchen, and she had these things, in these little candy dish. They were spice drops. You remember those spice gumdrops? Okay, well, for some reason I really liked them. But they call my weirdness autistic, but I literally just think I'm cool and amazing, so who cares? But when I was little, I used to take the gumdrops and I would suck all the sugar off before I would chew them. Now, I'm sure a lot of people do that, okay? Right. We all have, like, weird, quirky things about the way we eat. Like, it's, like, ritualistic. Holy bag of moly. Whatever. Okay, so let's get back to this story, because I'm sure you want to hear it. So whatever, I was sucking on a purple one, I remember. And those ones taste like sort of like a licorice, whatever. So I sucked up all the sugar, but then when I went to bite it, I sucked it down my throat and I started choking, okay? So I'm choking on one of those little spice drops that is very slippery, and it's like, okay, and I was like, and I remember I was over by the sink, and I was like looking over the sink, and my mom was like, oh my God, Becky's choking, help, Mom, help. And then my grandma came over, and they were like hitting me on the back or whatever. And I remember I coughed up the thing, okay? And I was fine. But during that moment when I was about to die, okay, because I was about to die, I was looking down the drain of the sink, and I had this insane realization. It was like a thought. And I remember looking down the drain and thinking, wow, so this is how this one ends. Me staring down the drain of a sink while people are yelling around me. This is so weird. This is so weird. And okay, so flash forward until I'm a freaking adult. And I'm listening to some music, okay? And all of a sudden this song comes that is a 12-minute fucking song by a person that I actually adore. And his name is Josh Tillman, but he sings under the moniker Father John Misty. Okay, everybody knows I'm obsessed. Bleh, who cares? Whatever. Obsessed. I don't know. This is why, though, because it's weird. It's weird how he sings this song, what is it, Leaving LA? And it is a 12-minute ballad about his life. And no shit, in it is literally like almost the exact same memory that I have of what I went through as a kid, and just a different setting. So I'm like, what? So are we in a simulation? That's the thing. Why is this so fucking weird? Or do we, because, and then as you go through life, you start to see that everyone has the same stories, just different variations. Everyone has had the same lessons or life things happen, just different variations. Almost like it's a fucking system. Almost like you get certain experiences just, and they're all randomized, but then we all have them at different points. Okay? And if you're highly able to see codes, which I am for some fucking reason, it doesn't matter. Ooh, wow, I have a high IQ. That doesn't matter. All it means is that I'm able to connect codes in a linear fashion, and also now on like a multi-dimensional fashion, which is when you gain higher awareness, you also gain more geometry to like use to reflect your fucking light off of, so that you see higher perspectives. This is what it is. It's geometry. We are living in a geometric reality, and it's almost like our DNA or whatever, our central projector, is putting out a signal into a field of geometry that is then reflecting back to us via certain angles, based on how much geometry you've ascended to, and then it creates a whole different type of picture of understanding. Well, anyway, needless to say, I like sort of, like that just like stuck in my memory, you know? And it's weird because, there's so many things, particularly with this particular artist, okay? I feel like I want to go through it because it's so weird. Now, I mean, I know a lot of us have had a choking on candy story, okay? You know what I mean? But I want to hear about them. That's what I mean. I think it would be really cool if our major life stories, what would happen if we did something like where we created like a list, and then I think that a lot of us are basically just living like the same lives. Like this is just like one consciousness being projected out into a geometric field and being reflected its various experiences through that. You know what I mean? And so therefore my geometry would be, I mean, my experience would be similar to yours. It's just a matter of connecting the dots. And so then you feel connected to people. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, I went through that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's so weird too, because just like recently he like sang the song Mahashmashana, and it's like there's this like little like thing where he's like two times a week she comes at 12 o'clock, like it's basically the beginning. His body is the meat, right? She's like, oh, that's the meat. Her soul is the fallen star, okay? So essentially, we're all living this, like, because when I was actually 16, I had this boyfriend that I would go over to his house about 2 times. It was so bizarre. He's like telling my life. It's weird, okay? So I had this boyfriend that I would go to his house 2 times a week at midnight or like pretty late. And we would just, you know, like what we would consider banging back in the day. And then I would leave. And like the whole line about no one seems to bother, or whatever the fuck the line is. It's like, I remember there was like this underlying thing like, oh, because he still lived with his mom. And we were like, oh, we don't want, you know, your mom to know that I'm here. And it was like all like, but no one bothered me about it. You know, we just kind of did it. And then the whole thing about getting pregnant in the back seat of I've already talked about this, but getting pregnant in the back seat of a car, I fucking actually did that when I was 17. So, yeah. And it was a Mazda 626, and it was green. So, sea green. Like, turquoisey. Like, not, I don't know. Whatever, that greenish color, okay? Midnight green. Whatever. I don't fucking know. But it's so weird then to, like, have someone sing this stuff, and you're just like, does this person have like a code into my life? Like, what in the actual fuck? But then you're like, no, because that's not actually possible. So there has to be some, you know, whatever. And I guess it's just, we're all just fucking living the same bullshit. You know what I mean? So if that's true and we are living all the same bullshit, then shouldn't we like be more into like helping each other and wanting to like work together instead of fight and compete, because we just realize we're all in this same bullshit? Like, whatever. Oh yeah. I don't know.